Today we're continuing a mini-series in the Song of Songs. In part 1 we saw how the maiden in the Song of Songs had to overcome root issues of fear of intimacy, of unforgiveness, of offence and disobedience before she was able to come to a place of deep intimacy with the Lord, where she was able to receive his love and give her love to him in return. Today in part 2 she faces a new challenge. The Lord invites her to join him on top of the mountain. So stay tuned if you want to see what obstacles she faced and how she overcame them. The maiden knew God as a God of love and grace, but now he comes to her in a fresh revelation of himself as a God of power. In the same way the Israelites were afraid to approach the mountain of the Lord in Exodus chapter 20, she's afraid of this revelation of God's nature. God tries to woo her to follow him. What she's experienced with him so far is nothing compared to what he has in store for her. But there are compromises in her life, areas where Satan has access and is trying to ruin her spiritual growth. But she's unwilling to deal with those issues and refuses to follow him. She seeks him in the secret place, but his presence is not there. She seeks him elsewhere, but she can't find him there either. It is only when her leaders find her and point her in the right direction that she finally finds the presence of the Lord again. This time, she's not letting him go. She embraces God's revelation and gives him access to every area of her life and experiences what it really means to be united with Christ, and that her life is hidden with Christ in God. All fear has subsided and she knows she is safe to go wherever the Lord leads her. After God affirms the areas of spiritual growth he sees developing in her, she's ready to go with him to the top of the mountain, even though she knows it's going to require even greater sacrifice. God is a God of love and grace, but he is also a God of power and glory, of righteousness, justice and holiness. If we want to really know God, we need to be open to receive his full revelation of who he is. If we want to move with God, we need to be firmly planted in his kingdom. We cannot keep one foot in the world. We need to learn what grieves the Spirit and let those things go if we want to climb the mountain with him. God yearns to be with you, to see your face, to hear your voice. If we can't find his presence in the secret place, we need to find out what's going on and if there's anything in the way. We cannot rely on the revelation or experiences and encounters of other people in order to grow spiritually. Personal encounter and personal revelation is the only way up the mountain. Knowing what spiritual attributes God affirmed in the maiden really help us to know what areas we can focus on to grow in the Lord. He mentions her single-hearted devotion, her sacrificial lifestyle, her ability to chew on and absorb his word, her language and speech which reflected his grace and mercy, her emotions displaying the fruit of the Spirit, her submitted will, and her ability to spiritually nurture others. The passage we looked at was Song of Songs, chapter 2, verse 8, all the way through to chapter 4, verse 7. I encourage you to read the whole passage, but in particular focus on chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. You can also read parallel passages in Exodus chapter 33, verse 18 through to chapter 34, verse 9, where Moses asks God to reveal his glory and where Moses stands in the cleft of the rock. And also Colossians 3, verses 1 to 4, about our life being hidden with Christ in God. Now this video is just a very short summary of a Sunday sermon. I encourage you to listen to the full message, which is available as a podcast on our church website.